Jan Pospisil joins us live from London. He's an associate professor on peace and conflict resolution at Coventry University. Thank you so much for being with us on the program. Let's start off with Hemedti's proposal. What made him change his tactics? Where we're now seeing him want to join forces with the army.
I mean, as you rightly say, we are seeing tactics here. And I think this is an indirect answer of the escape of Burhan out of Khartoum, and now his great competitor, in a way, being on a regional tour where he was in Egypt before and just visited South Sudan, where he proposed South Sudan as the mediator in the conflict. And essentially this put RSF a bit on the diplomatic back foot. I think the problem for RSF is that they are basically dominating the battlefield. They're dominating Khartoum, they dominate parts of Darfur, but this doesn't help them anyway, in any kind of way, without international recognition or any kind of chance of getting some negotiated solution out of this.
If we do see the two sides integrate, what would that mean for the RSF, and how much of their decisions, both the army's and the RSF's decisions, are being influenced by regional powers that support them?
I mean, I can't see like shorthand, like a real integration. This is surely, if this is, I mean, in the end, this may have to happen in a way that there will be unified Sudanese armed forces again at some point. But this is surely a year-long process. And what is open in this proposal, and this is the big weak point, that is totally unclear who should lead the army. What does this mean politically? What are the political implications? And who has the real power over the armed forces? So like this doesn't say much apart from take me seriously diplomatically. I guess this very much addresses Egypt, this very much addresses the Gulf, but also Western states like the United States that have so far like taken different types of, a bit of an ambivalent position, keeping an equidistance between like Burhan and Hemedti. But and here it seems to be important for the RSF to win them over a bit to their negotiation position.
Right. And what about Egypt and the bordering countries of Sudan? They're in direct exposure to these millions of people who have been internally displaced. Millions want to cross into other countries for their safety. Egypt did mention that it is concerned that this war will eventually spill over its borders.
Well, I guess several countries are heavily affected. I think Chad is still like the most affected country. South Sudan takes a lot of refugees. Egypt has taken a harder stance at the border and has become really, really difficult to cross for Sudanese refugees. As said in previous kind of talks, like I don't see an immediate risk of this conflict directly spilling over. But we have seen attacks by Al-Hilu's forces, the SPLM North in the south, against the Sudanese armed forces. There is kind of a turmoil in Darfur that could spill over into Chad. I don't see Egypt playing an immediate kind of role in getting involved in this. But there is certainly tensions at the border that could kind of spill over to a certain effect. And Egypt and South Sudan have to take a lot of refugees, which is definitely beyond their immediate capacity to take care of them. So international humanitarian aid will be necessary to take care of this big issue.
Right, and we did hear that more than 7 million people are internally displaced in Sudan. Will these people who have lost most of what they own to the fighting be able to return to where they once lived? What will they find when they go to the place that they once called home?
I mean, it's difficult to say, and it very much depends from where they are. There is areas in Darfur where I hear shocking reports of basically there's not much left. In Khartoum, there's areas really depending on where you are, where you might come back and indeed find your stuff still all in place. In other areas, all might be gone and you have really to start from afresh. It will be, I mean, this war has taken a dimension where any kind of resettlement and return will take years and years, that's for sure.
All right, Jan Pospisil, thank you so much for being with us here on the NewsHour and sharing that insight with us. We appreciate it.